So I posted on my story like a Q&A question on Instagram, and I just feel like there were so many questions that I didn't get to. So I was like, okay, let me turn this into a YouTube video, but I kind of didn't want to just sit in front of the camera and answer them. So I thought I would answer the most asked questions through my daily routine. So I'm going to take you guys in a day in the life with me, but answer the questions that kind of match it throughout. So you guys already saw I answered already a question before about my time I wake up, etc. So now we'll go into some more questions. So I am in my workout outfit, ready to go work out. And another question you guys asked is, do I eat before I work out? And my answer is matters the day, but mostly no. I work out on the earlier side, so I just am not that hungry right when I wake up, especially because I have a cup of coffee, which I think, already caffeine helps to take away your appetite. So I think having coffee in the morning and drinking a lot of water, I'm just still not like so hungry. But if I were to work out later, so right now I'm gonna work out at 8, if I were to work out at 10, I absolutely would have something just because then I would be really hungry. Also too, I guess I should say with celery juice, I'm still juicing. If I am doing a workout this early, I juice after my workout, and I know you're supposed to juice on an empty stomach, like before coffee, all of that. It's just really hard to juice in the morning because I have to make it, and I don't want to wake up everyone in the house. Not everyone, but JT. Don't hate me, that's just the way I need to do it, but it's been working for me. And then after I drink the celery juice, I'll have my first meal. So I'm gonna go into a workout right now. I'm gonna take you guys with me. JT was already in here. This is another question that I'm answering. If I didn't have this gym, I would still be doing the workouts in my house or outdoors or something of that sort. I do not go to a gym anymore. The only place that I go to is classes. So now that classes are opening up, if a girlfriend wants to go to a class like boxing or Pilates, a different form of a workout, I am so into that. So I'll go for a class, but really going to the gym, I don't have a gym membership. I don't have a gym I would go to right now, like at all. So I would be training in my house. And honestly, when it's really cold out, I do train in my house instead of here in the garage. I'll just bring my weights into there. So for me, I only use weights or like dumbbells, bands, and then like a chair or a bench if I'm in here, but I'll use a chair inside. So really, I really make my workouts that you can work out anywhere and accommodate to everyone's needs, because I'm just not a gym girl anymore. But I'll get into that because I know that there's questions about my whole journey. Okay, so I'm going to write out my workout on this board. Another question, do I actually do the workouts that I share with you guys? And my answer to that is absolutely. I don't know if I could actually go another route of giving you guys workouts but not doing them myself. I truly have curated these workouts where I first off test them out, I do them, and then I share them with you guys. On a day like this, it's either I choose to write out a workout that I want to try so that I can then write out for you guys, or if I was more in a rush, I would actually grab a workout from my YouTube, I'll grab a workout from my Fit Plan program or IGTV, wherever it is, I would grab a workout from there and just follow along. These are it, guys. So I'm gonna write out one. I'm gonna do a booty one today. Another question, see, they're all popping in my head and I'm here for it. Do I use the same weights I use in the workout videos? This is actually a really great question. I mostly use all the weights that I'm sharing with you guys. The only days that I will go a little bit heavier is on booty days. I have a hard time growing a booty. This is where you just have to kind of get familiar with your body. Like some people are like, I naturally have like my arms like right away gain tone and they're like good to go. So then you kind of know like, okay, I can balance of what type of weights I want to use. And then like for me, if I'm like, okay, I have a tougher time building booty, building legs, I know that I need to maybe lift a little bit heavier. So I'm still doing the same routines, but instead of doing lunges with 10 pounds, maybe I would do it with 15, or instead of doing sumo squats with 10 pounds, I would do 20. If you also don't feel challenged, upping your weight is like an incredible way to challenge yourself and push yourself a little bit more. So get to know what works for you, but definitely do not be scared of weights. I understand where it can be really intimidating, but I think you will start to see when you implement your weights that it isn't going to be the weights that are going to make you so bulky. Like if that is your fear, which I think a lot of you guys presented to me, you have to figure out what works for you. If you're like, wow, I'm really crushing the game and I want to up your weight, but still can do the same exercises. And I think that's the best part about my workouts for me and for others, is that I'm giving you guys the exercises and in order that they should go, how much time, like how many reps, all those things. So it's your job, because I'm not one-on-one with you, to kind of figure out, okay, I've been working at these weights for some time, I think I could push it and move up a little bit and see how you feel. And if you're like, that was way too much, then go right back. It's kind of a trial and error and figuring it out, and I've definitely had to figure it out. Okay, I'm gonna write this workout in my phone. Okay, so I just wrote out the workout, one that I wrote last night that I wanted to try, a couple new exercises, a couple new things. I'm gonna get into it. It's a booty day, baby. Let's go. Just finished, feeling good, booty's feeling good. 35 minutes in here. I did a little bit of longer rolling out in the beginning, but I'm feeling really good. Let me catch my breath. Okay, now I'm catching my breath, drinking some water. I wanted to also share, because during my workout I actually chose to listen to a podcast today. I don't honestly do that a lot, but today I just needed an extra push. I'm actually feeling so much better. If you guys saw my last video, I talked about working out on that time of the month and how hard it was. It was tough, and so I think today I actually woke up with a lot of motivation. But during my workout, I felt like I just needed some more. So you kind of just have to like know your mood. Like again, always set yourself up for success. Like whatever you need, do that thing. So if it's, okay, I need a podcast today because I need some more motivation while I'm working out, let's do it. So for what podcast I listen to a lot. I actually have a highlight you guys can see here on my Instagram sharing my favorite podcast. Every month I'm listening to new podcasts. And the reason I listen to a lot of podcasts, I'll say this, is because I have a tougher time reading books. I'm more of a listener, more of a visual learner. So I have to sneeze. Bless me. I'm more of a visual learner. Don't get me wrong, I love books. It just takes me so long to read them. When I'm reading it, I have to reread the same page maybe 2 or 3 times, so to really retain the information. So I still have a book I read, but it just takes a lot longer. So I always tell people, if you want information faster, I feel like a podcast kind of cuts to the chase and cuts to a lot of questions you have, and a lot of the time they have a lot of answers, right? You know, sometimes when you see an interview and you're like, oh, I wish that they asked this question or they asked this question. The amount of times in a podcast where I'm so grateful that the person I'm listening to asked the questions I would want to ask, it's just so amazing. Or they ask questions that I would never ask, and I'm so grateful they asked those questions. So I just feel like podcast is a body full of information. You just have to find which ones work for you, and don't be discouraged if the people that I'm telling you aren't right for you. Everyone has certain people. Like JT loves like Gary Vee and Ed Milet, which are more very in your face and a little intense. And don't get me wrong, some days I do need them, but some days I'm like, too much for me. Like I need someone to talk to me a little bit more chill. So some of my favorites right now, when I'm looking at my library on my, almost dropped that. Okay, so the impact theory, that is a really good one if you want all the above. I mean, this guy literally interviews everyone, interviews monks, interviews entrepreneurs, interviews marathon runners, interviews every walk of life. And so I feel like there you can really just find inspiration everywhere, and it's probably the biggest like broad interviewers I've seen. Again, this is just my preference, so I really like that. Another one, which I think everyone kind of knows, is the Skinny Confidential podcast, the TSC podcast. I do love this one. I've always been a fan of her, and I feel like her personality just like makes my heart like just warm. She's just hilarious. She's a boss, like all the above. And I do also love the people she interviews. I feel like it's people that I'm very intrigued with. She talks all the way from health, all the way to entrepreneurs, all the way to moms. I mean, everything. So I really love hers. Unlocking Us with Brene Brown is another really beautiful one. That's more of a self-development one or self-help. I would turn that one on when like I'm going through some emotions, or honestly, I just want to focus on that type of side of me on that day. It's like, what do you need in that day? Do you need motivation, or do you need someone to be like, hey, what's your purpose in life, and let's talk about it? Like, you know, it's just like, what is your vibe? So ask yourself before you go into the app. Or if there's someone that you guys love on social media, you can also type them in and see where they've been guest on. So that's also something I do. So if there's someone that I love but doesn't have their own podcast, I imagine that a lot of times they have been a guest on someone else's podcast. So finding, like searching for their name is also super beneficial. But okay, last one I'm gonna give you. There is this doctor called Dr. Axe, and he has the Dr. Axe show. He was in pharmaceutical medicine, I believe, and then changed to more functional medicine. So I love to see that he has both sides, and he really talks about every topic you can imagine that is the question in the air, about supplements, about diets, about energy, about emotions, all to do with like health and wellness. So that is one that I actually just bought his book too. Literally not an ad. I'm just truly such a fan. It's called Ancient Remedies. I have to show you guys, I make this like little potion of his, and it's all natural. It's like coconut oil, honey, all these things for like if I have a pimple, and it is insanely a miracle. I actually found him from when I used to use his collagen, which I'm still a fan of, but I'm also a guinea pig, so I like trying different brands. But he has a brand called Ancient Nutrition, and it was such good collagen. Like, the taste wasn't there. It also had a lot of clean ingredients. You'd be surprised how many collagens aren't that great of collagens. So I started to be a fan of his then, and now he has a podcast. So again, if you're a fan of someone, guarantee they have a podcast. Okay, I'm gonna make some breakfast. I'm gonna take you guys inside and make some food. I'm chilly. I'm going through my DMs, and I wanted to share this with you guys. I try my best to read as many DMs as you guys are sending and listen and respond, even voice memos sometimes. So just know that I'm always reading. But I got a DM, and I'm not gonna say the name, but from a girl in our community, and she said, I started doing your workouts paired with eating cleaner. I literally rewatch your videos, what I eat in a day is comfort, and I literally have lost almost 70 pounds. I had a lot of depression, weight gain, and your HIIT workouts whipped me into shape. Again, I can't thank you enough. And just thought you would smile at how much you have impact on us. So, I mean, truthfully, this is incredible, and she shows me the before and after, and it's inspirational and amazing, and just shows her consistency, her perseverance, the effort it takes, the patience. I could not be more proud. I mean, 70 pounds is like insane and so cool. Just wanted to share that and let you guys know I absolutely love this community, and messages like that keep me going, and I'm so happy they keep you going as well. Enough of that. I'm gonna finish my smoothie, freshen up, and then get the day going. Okay, I'm hiding in my bedroom because I need a really quiet space. I'm about to go on an intro call, and so if you guys haven't heard of it, it's an app where you can talk to experts. So it's a place where you guys can book a call with experts. I'm on there, and we can talk for 15 minutes all the way up to 45 minutes. It's super cool. I've met so many incredible people in this community through the app. So I'll link it in the description below, but I'm about to go on a 45-minute intro call. So it's super fun. You guys can literally ask me anything. We can talk about anything. I'm very open on it, and I love when you guys are as well. So yeah, it's kind of a place where you can get more personal and one-on-one, and there's a lot of incredible experts on the app. So like, honestly, I've posted him before, but my, like, I would say life coach almost, Jason, he's also on there. He's incredible. So there's a lot of incredible people on there. Also Sana's on there, a lot of amazing people. But before I go on the call, I'm having some avocado toast as a snack because I feel like it's already been some time since I've had my smoothie. So I need a little something before I hop on this call. I'm gonna eat this. Okay, so I just got off my intro call and it was so awesome to talk with her, and she had so many incredible questions and absolutely loved chatting with her. So I feel like it kind of makes me think about wanting to talk about my journey a little bit. For me, how it all started is I grew up in a household that was very health conscious. So I grew up with a dad who was very into fitness and personal training. And then I grew up with a mom who had home cooked meals and was really focused on nutrition and food. Don't get me wrong, I was going to McDonald's after dance class, and we had a very balanced life. It wasn't too restrictive by any means, but there was like no soda in the house, certain snacks like we didn't have. So when I went to a friend's house, I was so stoked to have them, kind of thing. So then when I moved out to Los Angeles, I got a personal trainer right away, but I did not stay, I would say, on the health and wellness focused lifestyle at all. I was training, I was modeling, I was doing all that, but I definitely was not prioritizing sleep. I didn't have routines. I didn't have a crazy strict diet. Yes, I was eating healthier from what my mom shared and showed me, but I was hanging out with other people where they were eating other things, and I was I'm down. So that's kind of where I was at in the beginning part of my teen to 20s. And then I think what kind of hit me was I did not know what I wanted to do with my life. So even pursuing modeling and acting and all these things in Los Angeles, I could tell it wasn't my passion, but it was something to do in the meantime, to make money, to have a job, to kind of have something to be excited about, but I knew it wasn't the it game for me. So when I was personal training, that was probably one of the biggest things that did resonate with me so well. And I would talk about it on set, or people would see me share it on Instagram. And so I think that's what kind of sparked it for me, is I saw that there were a lot of questions around taking care of yourself, and something that I grew up doing, right? So I studied it. I wanted to understand it even deeper. I started focusing on routines. I started focusing on my mental health more. And so I think that flip changed for me when I saw that other people were so interested in why I felt good, and then I was interested in why I felt so good. And when I looked at it, the things that were helping me feel so good were my routines, was my workouts, was my eating habits that I started to change. So yeah, I think that was a huge change of self-awareness for me, of why I started this journey again on my own, right? Because I grew up in it, but then when I got here, I didn't really continue it on my own. So I still had to make the decision. So yeah, I hope that helps. And I would say it took me a lot of trial and error. When I was starting out, I was doing a lot more weight training. I was going to the gym. I was training with a trainer for an hour and 20. And I did really enjoy that. And I learned so much, but I could tell it wasn't the only thing for me. So I think that's when I started training myself more. I started trying to do different workouts that were effective, but not as long, because I saw when I was getting really busy with work, an hour just felt really long. So I think that's why I studied and make sure to put into play shorter but effective workouts, and also be focused on the way I feel and not as focused on building the biggest butt. And that, again, that was just for me and preference. So figure out your goals and what you want. And for me, it was I just want to feel good, look good, and live till I'm 100, maybe not 100, but you guys know what I mean. And then have a healthy mindset as well. So that's kind of my continuous goals for me. And that was kind of the start of my journey through this all. And now I'm here and I'm just this is it. So that is that. I'm having a little bit of iced coffee, which was a bad idea because I have my lunch. I did order in lunch today, because it's just been a little bit crazier, and now I have no appetite because of my coffee. I should have drank it after, but it's okay. We'll be good friends. As always, you guys comment below any questions you do have. I'm gonna get through the main ones today, but I love responding and seeing what questions you guys do have. All right, I'm gonna eat some lunch. JT just ate some of the brownies that I made last night.
They're pretty good.
I'll link the recipe below, but really good. The base is almond flour. For another question is, how often do I have cheat meals? How often do I have dessert? Things of that sort. I have dessert every single day, but when I have dessert, it's every day is different, right? So one night it could be a piece of a chocolate bar that's 70% cacao, and then
sometimes veggie sticks.
JT makes fun of me because there was one time, literally one time, where I, for some reason, you guys, was craving hummus and carrots as dessert. And I know that's like so annoying, but I really was. And he turns around to show me his dessert, and he turns around and shows it to me, and he has like cookies, like all these things. And I turn around and I had hummus and carrots. So he always makes fun of me. Anywho, so now I made brownies the other night. I had 2 brownies last night. It matters the day, but really mostly, you guys see, I love Air Pop popcorn, the brand Lesser Evil, and then I'll pair it with chocolate chips. So I'm always having a dessert, but it's just a healthier option. And probably not eating like the entire bar one night, trying not to. But yeah, and then as far as like cheat meals, you could say, I don't really call them that, but meals that are not part of like maybe my healthier options, it really just matters the week. So it matters how many social events I have, because I would say if like my girlfriends invite me to dinner, I try to stick to my dietary needs in the sense of like no gluten, no dairy, but like I'm not thinking about, should I have that, say they had a bomb pizza with like vegan cheese and gluten-free bread, like I'm going for the pizza, you know? So it's like those times are the moments that I think you should enjoy yourself more than being so concerned. But that's why I'm 80-20, so throughout the week I'm really focusing on choosing those healthier options so that when the time comes to go to social events or you don't have the freedom to have exactly what you want, you don't feel as like, oh, dang it, because you've been crushing it through the week. So I hope that helps, and I'm gonna have another brownie. All right, so JT and I are actually gonna go on a little ride on our e-bikes. If you guys saw in my last vlog, JT got these e-bikes. They're like, look like Vespas, but they only go the speed of like 20 or 25. And we're gonna go on a little ride. Whoa, we're gonna go see the sunset. So I feel like this would go into the question of how do I work, life, relationships, and balance it all. And you guys, all I gotta say is I am no pro at it, but I work weekly and on the daily at it. I think even some weeks I need it more of like balance, and I'll really pay attention to those certain weeks where I need more attention on my relationships, or I'll pay attention to the weeks where I need more balance of like self-care. So I think, you know, I'm not perfect at it, but JT and I think really try, especially in the evening. I feel like my mind kind of shuts off more in the evening, so I do try to have like a lot of moments more in the evening because I'm just like, the day it's just going. But yeah, setting that time aside, setting moments aside, even if it's a little bike ride or if it's a walk, I think those are work-life balance. Like I asked him to do this bike ride probably 2 days ago, so I think it's scheduling it in, and if you don't make it, that's okay, but at least you guys attempted and tried to schedule in a little work-life balance. Work-life balance for me is definitely self-care when I do think about it. Whenever I need to like balance out, it's just a lot of self-care for me. So if you implement a self-care activity every single day, I think it provides the most balance. So if it's a face mask, if it's working out for you, if it's journaling, all those little things I think provide that balance. But we're all doing the best we can, you know? All right, I'm gonna go jump on this Vespa, and I'll see you guys in a sec.
There you go. I'm her technology helper.